I've been in New York City for the past 4 days, and I've been powering my data needs with this eSIM from Airalo, and my 2-second review was that it's actually really impressive. So stick around so I can show you exactly why that is. For those of you that don't know what an eSIM is, it's basically a digital SIM card inside of your phone that allows you to access a data plan on the go. It's also carrier independent, which means that you're able to download a plan from any carrier of your choosing. In this case, for my trip, we're going to be using Airalo for this video. And I actually have a few days before I board the plane to New York City, and the big advantage with Airalo is that I can set it up and be prepared with their eSIM service before departure with their app. I can quickly set up an account by downloading their app, and at a glance I can select from over 200 countries and regions for an eSIM. I chose the US obviously, and since I'm there for 4 days, I went with their 10 GB plan for 30 days and paid 26 USD with Apple Pay. I would also recommend to look at the additional information on the eSIM that you're buying so you have a good understanding of what you're getting. My plan is data only. It activates my validity period only when the eSIM connects to any of the supported networks listed. It has top-up options if I need more data, and it works in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico. Okay, so the eSIM now shows up under my eSIM on my iPhone, so we are ready to install it, but before we do that, it is important that I am connected to a reliable internet connection, which I am, but if you're following along, make sure that you are as well. So now we're gonna go ahead and press install now using the direct installation method, and it might take some time depending on your internet connection, but once it's all set up, one of the first things you're gonna see is the default line set up for your phone. Like, where do you want your calls and text messages to go to? For me personally, I'm still gonna actually set this to my primary phone number. I'm not gonna set this to the Airalo eSIM. The reason for it is because a lot of my logins for websites and different apps still use two-factor authentication for security purposes, so it's gonna wanna send me a text message for me to be able to log into that. So I still wanna be able to do that when I'm in New York City, and my personal phone plan here in Canada doesn't charge me for roaming for receiving text messages. I only get charged if I send out a text message. So I can't know for sure if that's gonna be the same for you, but I would just double check with your carrier that that is the case before you set it to primary. Anyways, now we're just gonna go ahead and follow the prompts screen by screen. It's super easy to install this thing. Just follow the instructions and then you're all set to go. One thing that I would recommend doing is actually naming your eSIM. So if you go into your iPhone settings and go to cellular and then go to your secondary eSIM and press on it, you can actually change the cellular plan label. I'm gonna label mine Travel New York City. That way I know that that is the specific eSIM for that purpose. So that's it. It's now installed on my iPhone. It's super easy and it's done ahead of time, which is awesome. So now I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow when I'm on my way to New York City, and then we can actually see how this works when you're overseas in a different country. I actually couldn't sleep last night. I don't know why. So I actually went outside and went for a walk just to catch the sunrise just right behind me. It's really beautiful today. We just got to the airport here, and one of the good things about like a stressful travel day is having Airalo sort of take care of my data plan already. I don't have to worry about, you know, my expensive roaming charges for my carrier. I don't have to think about trying to use public Wi-Fi, and I don't have to think about even trying to find like a physical SIM card in New York City for my phone. It's all already taken care of, so I can just sort of relax and wait and get to New York City and then activate the data plan.
Thank you for choosing Air Canada Express, member of Star Alliance for your travels today. We hope you had a pleasant flight. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, So we just landed in New York City, which means that I can finally turn on the data and test out Airalo for the first time here. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is turn off airplane mode, and then now I'm gonna go to cellular, and then I'm gonna turn on the labeled New York City travel line. And then now that's turned on, we're gonna go back and go into cellular. We're gonna go ahead and turn on cellular data and then select the travel New York City. And then within seconds, I have LTE. That was actually really fast. The other thing I'm gonna be turning on as well is my primary line, specifically for two-factor authentication when I wanna log into things. I still need to get those text messages, and that's kind of what I alluded to earlier in this video. So now that I have both of these turned on, you can see two sets of bars, one for like my primary line and then one for the cellular data. And I actually have 5G right now, that's pretty impressive, Airalo. This is awesome. So now we're all set up, and then we can now make our way to the hotel. Whoa, this chair kind of goes back. I didn't even realize that. The hotel room is actually pretty nice. It has, you know, pretty good sized bed, king size bed, you know, very New York kind of feeling in here. I actually really like it. But the best part about the room is definitely the view. Like, it is just immense. Like, you just see a big chunk of New York City downtown near Times Square. I love it a lot. It's beautiful in here. One of the first things I want to do with my eSIM from Airalo is to test out actually the personal hotspot. I know for a lot of us, I mean, especially me, I don't like using public Wi-Fi, so I want to set up a personal hotspot and see whether or not this actually works with a MacBook Pro really well. So I just connected to the public hotspot on my laptop. Let me see if I can play one of my videos. And within a split second or so, I'm welcome to a desktop-like interface that takes up... I just very quickly loaded up a 4K video on YouTube, my own video, and it's playing the entire pseudo display screen in full, beautiful... Working just great. So 5G hotspot works wonderful with the eSIM from Airalo. I just came up with an idea. I really want to push like the envelope of the eSIM from Airalo. So I have the 5G hotspot running and playing that video. I'm gonna go on my iPhone here, load up, let's say TikTok, no problem. So I have a 5G hotspot running and TikToks are just loading up. This thing is working great so far. I also wanted to do a speed test just to see how fast the eSIM is from Airalo. So I have this app downloaded on my phone and it's just running the test right now. So on 129 ping, we're hovering around 130 to 150 megabits per second download, which is actually really impressive. And then for the upload speed, we're looking at around 34, 35 megabits per second. So pretty impressive. Like, not gonna lie, like that's actually really good. We're out here in Central Park, just a big borough here in Manhattan. It's absolutely beautiful, and one of the weirdest things actually I noticed on the way here was on the subway. I didn't realize you can get full service in the subway. That's like news to me because we don't have that in Toronto, Canada. And with my eSIM from Airalo, I had really fast service downstairs, like legit full bars across the board in the train. It was awesome. Another cool thing about Airalo is that you can actually add a widget to your screen to track how much data you've been using. So you literally just go to your iPhone, you go to your home screen and hold down the button and then hit add. You go scroll down and find the Airalo widget, and then you have 3 different options, and it shows you how much remaining data you have in your plan. That's pretty useful if you want to keep track of how much data you have, if you don't want to run out, or if you need to know that you need to top up later. For me, I'm gonna go with just the smaller one. And if you look right on my home screen at the top left of the widget there, it shows how much data is remaining for my US eSIM. So pretty useful stuff. A quick tip that you can also do with Airalo is that if you go into your iPhone settings and turn on notifications for this app, it'll let you know when your data is running low, as well as when your eSIM is about to expire. So it's actually pretty useful. Recommend you do that. I have mine turned on for this trip here in New York. Throughout my 4 days in New York City, I used about 7 gigs of data and I have around 3 remaining, so I made a good call choosing that 10 gigabyte plan. Overall, I would highly recommend you guys check out Airalo if you haven't already. Their eSIM service is just stellar, it's awesome. And I'll let you in on a little secret as well. It's not the first time I've used Airalo. I actually used them before they reached out to me to make this video. I used it on my trip to Florida a couple of months ago, just on my own merits, and I had a really incredible experience then, and nothing was different from my experience now on this New York City trip. So click those links in the description down below for you guys to check out their service today. Thank you so much, Airalo, for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.